Thanks for staying with us. So we have with us Senator Biodun Olujimi. Good morning, madam.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Good to have you on the show. So we heard that you were one of the senators prohibiting the casualisation bill. Could you tell us exactly what this bill is about and why it was important for you to vote against it?
Well, the truth is very simple. Casualisation is very bad for our economy, very bad for the psyche of the young people, and very, very demoralizing. The reason why it is happening is the fact that the system fails the young people. The system fails in the simple way. Jobs are not created constantly because a system that does not envision creation of employment for the teeming young people who will come is not a functioning system. And this is the reason why casualisation has taken real hold on our system. You find out that banks just take our girls and they don't really train them for anything other than to go and bring deposits. And the deposits are no longer available. The TSA has taken every fund away. And now that everything is centralized, where are the funds going to come from? But then they are threatening if they don't bring the money, the deposits, their employment will be stopped. Meanwhile, they are not being paid proper wages. They are paid pittance, just so that the business can move on.
Right.
Yes, we understand that private businesses need to thrive, but then take the number you can on proper salary, and then if you make casual, then look for people with lower grades that can fit the money you are paying.
Right.
Paying a graduate 35,000 is pittance.
Right. Okay.
So, I know that because of the capitalist economy that we run, where most organizations and companies want to minimize their cost and maximize profit, we end up having a lot of our graduates used as casual workers to the detriment, to their own detriment. Now, and I know that most of the organizations have worked hand in hand with the government that is supposed to be protecting us. They look the other way because they go for investigations and they know what is happening, but then somehow along the line they just pretend like they do not understand what is happening to our graduates. Now, when this bill finally gets into law, what is the guarantee that it will be followed to the latter to ensure that these graduates are paid what they are due?
Well, the truth is, that's the real reason for the bill itself. As soon as it comes into operation, people will be penalized. It is about penalizing businesses for casualising workers.
Okay.
And so I believe it will be tested. The major problem in our country is not the dearth of laws. We have laws. Our problem is our people are so laid back, so reticent, they do not try out the laws. Nobody has gone to court to challenge any of our laws before. Everybody is afraid. They believe government will not allow it work. But you see, it's in testing it that we can make it stronger. When you test it and we see the pitfalls, then we can make it better. But I believe that with this casualisation, some people who are very intelligent, especially our children who are coming up now, will test it. And once it is tested, nobody will go back on it again.
Right.
So this I thought was about the issue of sexualization within certain industries, particularly the banking industry. There should be an association or something to guide such issues rather than have a law address it, or don't you think?
Well, the banks themselves should be charitable enough to know that doing this to young people who are coming out and thinking of the future and looking at our country, that doing this to them is not the best. They themselves should have been able to find a middle course whereby these people could be paid living wages. When you pay living wages, well, yes, you won't make enough profit. But then you will also know that you are building a nation, because it's about tomorrow. It's not about today. And the banks themselves should start talking. That is what we are urging our banking and insurance committee to do, to bring them together and look at how they can stop casualisation and start getting people to work. And the deposits are no longer available. They must think out of the box and see what else these young people can do. Now, you say somebody should go and bring deposit from me. I don't know where the deposit will come from. More than 20 of them have approached me and told me they're likely to lose their job. I've been calling their bosses to beg, but then I do not have any money to give them.
Right.
And these are many of the people I know. And so the banks themselves must start thinking out of the box. How else can they get deposits? What else can we do? TSA makes nonsense of everything. Where will you put money?
Right.
DBN. Make sure that money is together. So the system is changing, and so we must change with it.
Okay, Ma, I want to quickly throw in this question. Speaking about casualisation of workers, Nigeria has a large unemployment pool and a larger underemployed pool. So these are people that have a job, but in actual fact, they don't have a job. This law you're pushing for, this change in constitution you're pushing for, what would it do for offices that employ people who work for years but are still regarded as contracts?
No, it is part of the entire bill. I believe by the time it comes into force, you can no longer ask anybody to remain on the same level for too long, because there are already rules. And like I told you, the laws are there. It's just that because our people, their intelligence is played upon, they are too afraid and too timid to ask questions and test the waters. You can't be in an establishment for 10 years on the same grade level without making the case for yourself. But you see, our people won't talk. They will say, that's the only thing I'm using to look after my family. And they forget that the company is making all the profits and running to the banks with it. But if you ask, you probably might get a small raise, because nobody wants it to get out there that you have been employed on one level for the last 5-10 years. And so, by that, employers of labor will start looking at the labor force properly. Because without looking at labor force properly, we can't get anything done.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up on this point.
Get anything done.
Thank you so much, man, for joining us this morning. We appreciate
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, that's all we can take on the show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.